You're listening to the Deb Colitti Show. And now it's time for
A Dive a Day with Debbie. All right, and I'm going to make a little leap here today to bridge the dive with the hive. I was at House Guest, is what, and by that I mean House Guest, which is one of our subjects this week. This weekend, and finding the dive that I love. I couldn't make that rhyme. I was a house guest, and they broke a cardinal rule of house guests. Friends of friends shall not bring friends.
okay.
And but the host left, so that de facto made me the host.
Yes, then you fill that spot.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so I brought a friend who I met in Miami this past year, who's from Argentina, and she met me out in Long Island at my daughter's place. She wasn't there, so I was the host.
She met you in Miami.
I met her in Miami last winter.
Then she came and joined you.
She joined me this summer.
I was confused by
on 4th of July weekend, in fact.
Wow.
Where I was a guest of a guest and I brought a guest. No, she was a guest of a guest.
Wow.
Oh, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Anyway, so in doing so, it was 4th of July weekend. She's from Argentina. I had to take her on the circle tour, literally from the North Fork via Shelter Island to East Hampton and back around.
Nice.
In the meantime, after the lovely parade that marched down New Suffolk Lane, it was so cool. Americana at its best, weeping. We were just, moved to tears with joy and watching the children on their bikes and silly floats. We went off to the ferry to Shelter Island. And cut to, you get on a 10-car ferry with no reservation, just a line. You line up, you go. You get off the ferry to this beautiful island. If you all know Long Island, they call it the Unhamptons Shelter Island because it's very beautiful, traditional, not fancy shishi homes.
Nice.
And you drive off, and on the left and the right is this fancy shishi restaurant. And the first thing you see, and you go, hungry, we want to go somewhere fun. And then I go, wait a minute, over there, that pharmacy has a really cool soda fountain. And they were serving lunch. It was actually the 4th of July. They were closing at 3. It was 1:20. I went, come with me, Maria Elena. We're going in.
Nice.
And it literally is. It's kind of like the Dock Street Diner in its own way. I seem to have a theme going here. Greasy cheese.
They're dives.
They're dives. And this one...
But this was attached to the pharmacy?
Attached to the pharmacy, and the pharmacy had one of everything. Kind of should have had the sign... If we don't have it, you don't need it, kind of pharmacy.
And it was a soda fountain.
Soda fountain, meaning milkshake makers, where you, the old-fashioned thing where you put the metal thing up at the thing and the thing.
And they have tables or just stools?
No, line up of stools, maybe 10.
10, okay.
And when they get the ice cream to make the milkshake, they take an old-fashioned scoop and they open the ice case, which is horizontal,
that
not
flips
like your
open.
No Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah.
And who knows how good the ice cream was, but the milkshake was fantastic.
And what'd you have?
Cheeseburger with American cheese and grilled onions.
Of course.
Maria Elena had Swiss cheese on hers because she's a fancy girl.
And I'm assuming you can see them eat it right then.
Oh my God, right then and there. And the short order cook, I should say, was this large man. He's been there forever. The owner was there. They were exhausted. They had probably served 500 breakfasts that morning because I know about it because when I used to sail through there, dock the boat, pull up a mooring, we go for coffee in the newspaper first thing in the morning, quiet. The place to go. I'm just telling you,
so it's
people.
Part of there's a pharmacy, a legitimate pharmacy attached to it, a little soda fountain. What's it called?
It's called the Shelter Island Heights Pharmacy Soda Fountain.
Wow.
That's a long name. And I have a picture. We're going to post it.
Oh, good.
We're going to post it. I highly recommend it. And I have to say one other thing.
What's that?
I used your joke.
Which joke?
What's the difference between a white Russian and a black Russian?
$5.
$1.50.
Yeah.
and the short order cook loved it. We were talking about he was making ice cream things. It was silly. Anyway, that's a Talbot. That's a Tao of Talbot.
Yes,
I love that joke.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's our dive a day. And we also broke the guests of guests shall not bring guests rule. But still, there you have it.
There you have it, folks. Another edition of Dive a Day.
Send in your ideas. We are quite East Coast skewed here. We need some ideas from the West Coast, Middle America. Where's your favorite dive? Pie. Otherwise, bring it on. Pies.
Right. You've been listening to
A Dive a Day with Debbie. All right, then. We're going to be back in a minute with our next guest, Charlie Furlong, who wrote a book on how to behave as a house guest. It's humorous. It's fun. Come back in just a minute.
You're listening to The Deb Colitti Show.